All right, today we're going to talk about something that's difficult but so important: gaslighting. Think of this as a guide to help you find your footing when it feels like someone is trying to mess with your sense of reality. Let's dive in.
You know that feeling when you're in an argument and you walk away not just feeling angry or hurt, but completely confused? Like you can't even trust your own memory of what just happened?
If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. That feeling isn't just random static. It's often a sign of a very specific and very damaging dynamic. So today, we're going to give you the tools to help cut through that fog and find some solid ground. So, first things first, we need to put a name to this experience. Because once you can clearly define something, you can start to see it for what it is. And you know what? That's when it starts to lose its power over you. Okay, so here's the crucial point. Look at the goal: destabilization. Gaslighting isn't just about someone trying to win an argument or prove a point. No, it's about making you doubt your own mind. The real intent is to knock you off your foundation.
And this is such a critical distinction. On the left, you have healthy disagreement. I see it differently. That's about interpretation. Two people can look at the same thing and have different takeaways. But look at the right side. You are imagining things. That never happened. See the shift? That's not an attack on your opinion. It's an attack on your ability to perceive reality itself.
And it's not all black and white, right? This chart really lays it out. We all experience healthy influence, even a little emotional pressure now and then. But as we move down, things get more serious. That you're overreacting stuff, so frustrating. But when you get to that red zone, that patterned gaslighting, that's where the repeated denial really starts to corrode your self-trust. And that word pattern is key. It's not a one-off event. So the big question is, how can you actually tell what's going on? Let's get into our next section and look at a toolkit designed to give you some real clarity and help you check in with your own situation objectively. And this is probably the question we all ask ourselves, isn't it? Is this really happening, or am I just having a big reaction? It's so important to be able to tell the difference. And this isn't about blaming yourself, not at all. It's about gaining discernment. This 6-step tool is so powerful for grounding yourself. So number 1, the emotional scan. Ask yourself, do I feel hurt or do I feel dizzy, confused, and destabilized? Second, the event check. Just to yourself, try to state the simple facts of what went down. 3, is there a pattern? Does this feel like the same conversation you've had over and over again? 4 is the big one, the accountability test. When you state what you remember, how do they react? Do they try to understand, or do they dismiss, deny, or even mock you? And finally, notice that drop in your own certainty, and if possible, check in with a trusted friend who's not in the middle of it. Let's really focus on step 5 for a second, the certainty drop. Just look at this chart. You might go into a conversation feeling a 9 out of 10 sure of what happened. But after they deny and distort, you walk away feeling like a 3 out of 10. That huge drop, that erosion of your own self-trust, that is the core injury of gaslighting. And make no mistake, creating that drop is not a side effect. It's the whole point. Okay, so once you can see the pattern, what do you do? What do you say in the moment? This next section gives you some concrete, calm, and really powerful language you can use. These aren't scripts for fighting. They're scripts for stabilizing yourself. All right, let's get practical. Picture this. You bring up something you're sure happened, they look you right in the eye and say, that never happened. Just like that, your reality is erased. What can you possibly say? It's not aggressive, it's just a clear boundary. You're drawing a line, you're saying, you can have your own opinion about this, but you don't get to delete my reality. And how about this classic, you're being too sensitive? This is such a common deflection. It's a way to shift the spotlight off their behavior and onto your reaction. Suddenly, your feelings become the problem, not their actions. This line is brilliant. It does 2 things at once. It validates your own response. My reaction makes sense to me. And then it calmly puts the conversation right back on track. You're refusing to get sidetracked by a debate about your emotions. You know, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just stop engaging. Walking away from a conversation that's making you dizzy isn't a weakness. It's a strategy. It's self-preservation. It's simple. It's direct. This isn't an attack. It's a statement of fact and a boundary in action. You are the one who gets to decide when the conversation is done, and you don't need anyone's permission to protect your own mind. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle: recovery.
After the conversation is over, how do you start to rebuild that foundation of self-trust that's been shaken?
This is so crucial. Gaslighting isn't just a mental game. It's an assault on your nervous system's whole perception of what's real and what's safe. So recovery has to start in the body.
Think of this as a little grounding ritual you can do anytime you feel that fog setting in. Anchoring yourself physically brings you back to this moment. The sensory reset pulls you out of that confusing story and into physical reality. Reclaiming one simple certainty, like the sky is blue, starts rebuilding your foundation. And finally, that last phrase. Confusion does not mean delusion. It's such a powerful reminder that feeling lost doesn't mean you're crazy. So, what's the big picture here? Long-term recovery is about these key things. It's about stabilizing your inner voice until it's louder than any doubt. It's about reducing the shame that this kind of manipulation feeds on. It's about slowly rebuilding confidence in what you see and feel and strengthening those boundaries. But it all serves that final crucial point. You do not need to win the argument. You just need to remain steady. That is the real victory. And that's really what this all comes down to. You don't have to be perfect to be legitimate. Your experience, your memory, your perception, it might not be flawless, but it's real, it's valid, and it is never, ever disposable. Hold on to that.